on the public safety building, 1153 West Fayette Street, which is a building that the entire police and the fire are going to move in. I'm joined by Mike. Mike, how are you? Deputy Commissioner of Assessment, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And
Greg Grates from CHA.
okay, welcome. So the main thing is to just hear the updates on where we are on the building and to talk about the equipment and the furniture that need to be put into the building for the use of the both departments, right? For both departments, okay. I'm also joined here by Chief Shaw and the entire and the leadership of SPD as well as Fire Department. Thank you. You want to take it away?
Yes, Councilor, thank you. For the record, Michael Lehman, Deputy Commissioner in the Assessment Department. The city has been working with the departments of Police and Fire for a couple of years now on this relocation project from the Public Safety Building to 1153 West Fayette Street. Last autumn, the city retained CHA Consulting to help with the project move. One of the elements of that move is procuring furniture, fixtures, and equipment for the departments, desks, chairs, things like that. Much of what they have where they operate from now, that is obsolete or needs to be replaced, can't be moved, things like that. So that's part of the budget, which we have the money for. We just need to authorize to spend it, hire the vendor. That's where CHA comes in, helping out with that part of the program.
And then the CIP is 2.6, right? 2.6 million? Was that what was allocated?
There's 2 million allocated.
2 million, okay.
Yes.
2 million, okay.
Okay, so no comments. Greg Grates for CHA. I'm the project manager, so handling the move management and also the RFP for the FF&E package. Right now, we do currently have an FF&E package that we developed and worked with the architects. The furniture layouts are shown on the plans in each floor and each location. Doubling back on that, to what Michael said earlier is, during the next phase of this process, we are going to assess. We have inventory list for the existing furniture and equipment that's in the building, that's currently in the existing public safety building, which we will assess, and naturally whatever can be moved that's in good shape will be moved, and then we will get basically get new furniture as needed, as required, I should say. The package that we did write though is inclusive of all new, is basically new furniture, so we'll capture that budget first, and then naturally get the pricing back, and then we'll go from there on the
I have a question. On the old furniture, are you going to bid it out? People can auction it off?
Right now, that hasn't been determined. Right now, what we're trying to do is we wanted to get the new furniture RFP out on the street because of timing, and the requirement for a lead time for like 12 to 16 weeks to get new furniture in. And then I'm working with SPD and SFD on their inventory list to say, okay, we have 3 conference room tables that might be able to be utilized, and then whatever that, how that shakes out, will go into our move management RFP, which is kind of down the road a little bit.
Oh, God, might be interesting. Chief Cecil's chair.
So what's the timeline? I know, Mike, the CIP is scheduled for 2025, 2026 budget. So what's the timeline of completing this? I guess is it for you?
Completing the project.
Buying, completing the project.
Okay.
Moving
just with FF&E?
Yeah.
Well, right now it's in procurement. The RFP is in procurement. As soon as we get all the final approvals, it'll basically be put out to bid. Usually takes about 3 to 4 weeks.
To get the
bids back. Then we vet the bids and award to the successful vendor. And then it's roughly, furniture's roughly right now between 12 to 16 weeks. Now, we won't need the furniture until the building is complete and it's in move. So you're probably looking at somewhere near the first of the year.
Okay,
To
so-
have the furniture moved, physically on site, but we do need to get it ordered, get the bids back and get it ordered.
Which bring us to the project. Where are we with it in terms of getting actually the two department in there? Where are we with that?
Right now, construction is going very well. The development team has been working very diligently. I believe we are set to be complete roughly around the mid-January of '26, and it hasn't deviated from there. And again, we're looking right now, the way the progress was as of last week, we may be able to accelerate that slightly, but again, we don't want to promise it until we actually see how it keeps going. But right now, no issues with construction whatsoever. Development team, police and fire have been very helpful. Michael, naturally the city has been very helpful. It's been a great effort, a team effort, so.
Does somebody coordinate, because we got two projects going on in the same proximity. Does somebody coordinate with the AHOP building that Benz is doing right down the street too, or how's that working?
That's independent from the
I know
city's work.
I know it's independent, but I mean, they use the same roads and everything else. It seems it gets pretty congested over there at some point. I hope we have like some sort of like communication going on between the two projects and the contractors.
I understand that's between Huber Brewer, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
You're right, there is
I mean,
additional traffic along Fayette Street near
yeah, and it
Geddes
gets
here.
pretty hectic down there because of course it's a main arterial, and then you got two construction sites going on simultaneously right next to each other.
Yeah, and Huber Brewer has been coordinating. I know at our last meeting that came up because there's utilities, actually there's utilities that need to be coordinated between the two projects. So that is an ongoing process.
So assume that everything goes well. Are we looking at a spring time of 2026 moving, or is it summer? What are we looking at?
I think they could begin moving in January. Full operations, hopefully first quarter. Other considerations are information technology needs in addition to the furniture. Certain aspects can't be tested until the building is entirely complete, such as frequency, cellular and radio transmissions. But I think we are confidently looking at full move-in first quarter 26.
So with that, what happened to the current PSB? I guess that's your question, Mike.
My understanding, I don't think, is any more than is the public understanding. There was an RFP put out about 2 months ago. I'm not aware of any decisions or inclinations on behalf of the city and county yet.
And the commission
The
themselves.
right
is
hand
here.
truly does know what the left is doing. Matt OJ, Commissioner of Assessment. Yeah, the county RFP'd the property, which we own as tenants in common with the county. We're majority owners. We're negotiating with potential purchasers on an ongoing basis. We'll be paying on the abstract. We need to get out of the PSB. Obviously, this isn't exactly a turn off the lights and close the door behind you kind of a situation when we move out. Police have some ongoing operations, but we should be out of there not too long after and paying. Nope, nobody's joining me. Yeah, so we're working on it.
So there have been proposals. Now, the county
Yes.
asked for the RFP.
We were
What are they just?
We were appreciative that they
lateralling
could
them
pick
to
up that
us?
administrative burden. So we've been sitting down with them. We've got county reps and city reps talking through possibilities as far as how quickly somebody could get through due diligence and close, appropriateness of the programming for the neighborhood. We really, have said all along we want this to be something that bolsters our fiscal well-being, but also enhances the neighborhood. Downtown Committee has been aware of this. So without giving away negotiations that are ongoing, we think we've got some good possibilities.
Will it be like an RFP? I mean, it's the city-county thing. How will it be an RFP committee or not? How's that going to be determined?
So I think internally at the executive level, we would bring a proposal to council. We would have to go through the usual local law process, bring forth whom we propose to sell the property to on what given terms, and council would get its bite at the apple then.
Simultaneously, will you have to do it to the county?
The county
leg?
legislature, yeah, so that would kind of be a chicken and egg, whether we could bring something to council without legislative approval on their side or vice versa. That
I would
is, if I were to,
suggest,
if-
I
if-
would suggest we would like let the county legislature know that they would be entertaining a proposal.
sure, sure. We both need to turn the key.
Yeah, at the same time.
That's not easy always, but we think we can
That's how
sequence
those
this pretty
missiles-
well.
That's how those missiles work in Idaho, you know, you have to,
That's what I've heard.
yeah, okay. Should be interesting.
So, going back to a little bit to the beginning of the conversation, you said that in 3 to 4 weeks the bids would be ready to go out. Oh no, it takes 3 to 4
It'll
weeks to get the
take,
bids back.
yeah, after you
So
after you
when-
receive the bids, it would take 3
So
to 4
when do
weeks.
you foresee these bids going out for then, starting this process?
Greg, myself, and the Office of Management and Budget have the RFP ready to go. Once it is approved by Common Council, that can be advertised as soon as the ordinance is signed. So 3 to 4 weeks
But you still
from
have
now.
to assess what you're gonna actually need, because if you're gonna use some of the furniture that we already have, and things like that.
Well, right now, the RFP is based on the drawings, the design, and the layout that the architect did on all new. And then when we get the bids back, naturally, it's a parallel path process where we're working with the police and fire on their inventory list and see, okay, we do have, here's all in, but we do have maybe some equipment and furniture that can be reutilized, so we would try to mark it off the list and then only buy what is required for.
You check those off
Yeah.
and then reassess.
Right.
Okay.
So I know with SPD, there are other sites that they use to store equipment and be able to use it for other purposes. Does this building consolidate a lot of that, or is it just what is in the PSB is only moving there? Is there any other spaces that you are using that are going to be moved over there as well, with both SPD and SFD?
Yes, Counselor. For the police department, all police operations in public safety building will move over. Additionally, many operations at Patrol East right now will also move over, exceptions being the garage, traffic, and animal control. But it's a consolidation effort, yes.
Okay. What about SFD? Is that the same scenario? It's the same thing as well?
Their administrative functions will move from PSB to 1153, and then the stations operate how they have been.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. Any other questions? Okay. Okay. I think that will conclude our meeting, and we'll consider the item next session. Okay?
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Counselors.
Thank you very much.
Is it agenda already for this one? No, for the next one.
We wanted to make sure first, because the council wanted to